Okay, my name is Dr. Hasib, and my friend Mr. Kashif Raza, and we are from Pakistan. So, for today's topic and lecture, as we have already advertised, that paving your career or the career for the clinical pharmacist in pharmaceutical sales and marketing. So, just for the brief introduction of ourselves, that I've been teaching currently. I'm doing PhD, and I'm working as an assistant professor in one of the medical colleges and pharmacy colleges in Pakistan, and heading the Department of Basic Sciences. My previous career belongs to sales and marketing, and world-renowned companies like GSK, Novartis, and Eli Lilly. I worked in oncology. So, apart from this, I am an educational scientist, and apart from the educational activities, I like to have tourism, and I'm a passionate hiker, and we actually venture both together and plan our hiking trips together. So I would like to introduce Mr. Kashif Raza by himself.
Hi friends, I hope you're fine. I'm Kashif Raza and I have a professional career of more than 17 years. I had been doing my jobs in diagnostic industry as well as in pharmaceutical industry. And my last job, which I just quitted to start my own business, that was head of sales and marketing in a project of Berger Paints, who just started a pharmaceutical industry. As much as my qualification is concerned, I'm MSc Biochemistry and Biotechnology, Masters in Biochemistry Biotechnology. Then I did my Masters of Business Administration in Marketing. Then I had a few certifications like Battlefield Sales Management, Diploma in Marketing and Sales, and International Certification of International Certification in Inspirational Leadership, and International Certification in Product Management. And right now, at the moment, I am founder and CEO of Trust Tech Enterprises, that is dealing in IVD products in Pakistan. So it's a quick and brief introduction before starting this formal presentation of ours.
Start, please.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
we will uh, carry on this presentation one by one. First part I will present over here, and the second part will be presented by Dr. Haseeb. I hope you are just viewing this screen over here.
Yes, yes.
Is it visible to you people?
It is feasible. It is feasible.
It is visible.
Yeah.
Interactive session.
Okay,
We would like.
I would like to carry this session is as an interactive session. Are you ready to be interactive with me during the session?
Please go on. We are ready. Yeah.
Okay, we actually, as much as the background of this presentation is concerned, it is based upon my experience and Hasib's experience of previous years. We have been interacting with number of personals, taking interviews. Hundreds of interviews I have taken during my career, and especially when I was interacting with fresh graduates who are just aspiring for job and looking for career. And during those interviews, I have noted so many things that has to be taught and that has to be guided to the students and to those personals who are aspiring for their career. So this is a basic level of presentation, especially for those personals who are seeking career or who are aspiring for career and who want to pave their career. And as much as our own experience is concerned, that is a pharmaceutical industry, and definitely one cannot be jack of all trades. And the best thing we can explain, based upon our own experience and interaction with in national and international levels and with different candidates and professionals. So today's topic is paving your career in pharmaceutical sales and marketing. So this presentation would be very much specific towards career plan for pharmaceutical industry, sales and marketing for pharmaceutical industry. Today, before this presentation, when I was just going through websites and looking upon Nigeria, I have found a website of CNN that was describing few best things in Nigeria, and there were a number of things they have described about Nigerian people and Nigeria. The one thing that attracted me today, that I just went through that statement, that Nigerian people are the most optimistic people in the world, most optimistic personals in the world. When I just went to this statement of optimism, I really got inspired, because optimism is something that give us patience, that give us plan, that gives us an urge and motivation to do something. So I'm excited today to interact with the people who are optimistic, who are not
Okay.
negative, who are happy people, and they are looking towards positive side of life. So, and moreover, I've always found that Nigerian people and our African brothers, they're having extended physical ability and extended mental ability. So, with extended physical ability and with extended mental ability, if we synergize both these things, we can move ahead very well. So, coming towards presentation at the moment, uh,
You can.
so one my question with you, because I don't want to carry it as a formal or bookish type of presentation, because I've been presenting at different forums, and it is always my try to make presentations interactive and more practical rather than only bookish and theoretical type of. So my first question from the participants is, if we know ourselves, do we know ourselves? Do you know yourself? Because whenever we are going to aspire some career, we are going to start some business, we are going to do some job, or some study we are opting for, we have to recognize everything. But the first priority is whether we recognize ourselves, whether we know who we are. If I ask someone, um, but I'm looking over here, Dr. Tim Fire, I think, if I'm not pronouncing wrong, and
Yeah.
and Ibrahim Bello,
I'm
Dr.
with you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm hearing
okay,
you. Mm.
okay, okay. Uh, can one of you tell me, do you know yourself very well?
Yeah, why not? With
You know your
respect to, yeah.
aspects of your attitude and your abilities and your interests, everything.
Yeah, I do.
And okay, okay, you people are pharmacists. I will come towards this recognition pattern after we are having few points, and then will I come to this title, why I just mentioned over here, do you know yourself, or yeah, do we know ourselves? And if you people are pharmacists, I'm a biochemist. I have been interacting with pharmacists throughout my career in pharmaceutical industry, and my this buddy Steve is also a pharmacist. So, can you define pharmacist, and any one of you in one liner? Definition of pharmacist in one line. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. We're
Okay.
hearing you.
Can you define pharmacist in one line? Dr. Suleiman, Ibrahim Bello, Dr. Temper, anyone?
Pharmacist is an expert who is trained to handle drugs. It's a consultant
Can you
on,
push your mic near your mouth,
okay.
please?
Pharmacist is an expert trained to handle medicine. as simply put, pharmacist is an expert trained to handle medicine. Is an expert on drug. Is a custodian of medicine.
Yeah, I couldn't
Is
listen very
that
well.
taking? So any participant that has answer can raise their hand. So we are muting. You can call names, and we are mute for people to talk. Be muted. So because they will be muted.
I'm feeling little difficulty in hearing at the moment.
I
Okay,
said
we can
you
move.
can call names. You can call names. We will mute the names. You can call names. Call names.
Can you speak again?
I said you can call names. So you can mute.
I'm hearing him clearly.
Yeah,
I'm hearing him clearly.
Okay.
I don't know why you're not hearing him.
I'm hearing your voice
I'm hearing
clearly,
him too.
but Ibrahim's voice is not.
Are you serious? You're not hearing him, Ibrahim.
Okay, I think we
He's
should.
trying. Pharmacists are experts, drug experts, custodians of drug. That's what he was trying to say. But that's what pharmacists are: custodians of drug experts.
Okay. If I perceive a pharmacist being a biochemist, I perceive that pharmacists are the personals who are expert in drugs, who deals with drugs, their formulations, their preparation, and this drug is specialty of a pharmacist. Everything relating to drug, I think, if I'm not wrong, that pharmacist is expert of that drug. Am I right?
You're right.
Zoom.
You are right. Continue.
Come now.
Okay, I think it is better that I should move on with these things. Okay, pharmacist definitely is a person who is expert in drugs and who deals with its formulation and studies drug and uh, everything relating to drugs and its patterns that pharmacists take care. And I think all these are the roles of pharmacist. We can see pharmacists working in pharmaceutical industries. We can see pharmacists working in retail industry, in drug preparations, in quality control, in drug development, R&D, and teaching drugs, and in community as a community pharmacist they are doing. Okay, one thing that is notable to discuss over here. Uh, my this career that is spanned upon so many years, we have been listening two words in throughout our career, and me too have listened from different professionals when I just started my career, and for so many years I was just thinking that these two words, strengths and weaknesses. Probably you must have also listened these words, strengths and weaknesses. Mostly the professionals. When we started career and we attended trainings and uh, the personals who are guiding us, they're always talking about strengths and weaknesses. And we have been listening that every person has few strengths and few weaknesses. And they were just teaching us and telling us that you have to apply your strengths and you have to reduce your weaknesses. Your strengths take you towards success, and weaknesses may become a hindrance for you. But today, what I'm going to tell over here, with passage of time, when I was having different companies and interacting with different people, and when I was doing my international certification in inspirational leadership, one this concept was totally changed. What I learned, and that is that these strengths and weaknesses are not absolute terminologies. Strengths and weaknesses are relevant terminologies. These are not absolute terminologies. Absolute terminology is personal characteristic. These strengths and weaknesses are relevant terminologies, and absolute is personal characteristic. Because sometimes, whenever people think this is my strength and that is my weakness, those strengths are not always strengths and weaknesses are not always weaknesses. These are the personal characteristics. If someone say my strength is that I am very agile, I do my work speedily, and they think then if someone is agile and he can work speedily, he can perform his work in time, even before time. And if someone is slow and it is his weakness being slow, he cannot perform his work well and he cannot follow timelines. If sometimes it seems that this is pattern of strengths and weaknesses, but this is this is not the true way to look upon strengths and weaknesses, because sometimes strengths which are being considered strength of some person, that may result into a weakness, that may result into a hindrance. Because if someone is agile and very speedy and he can perform work in a fast manner, he can ruin that task. If you put a very agile person to some creative work like architectural designs and creative art and product management type of things, that person, agile person, may not make a very good structural design. Uh, he cannot establish a very good creative design because of that agility and habit to do work speedily. At that time, that strength is not strength. And a person who is being considered lazy and not that agile, he may have a very strong thinking ability. He can produce a very good architectural design. He can make a very good creative output out of the planning and thinking. So the main thing is personal characteristics, and without knowing our personal characteristics, we cannot do anything. If we stay in this illusion that 1, 2, or 3 points are my strength and 1, 2, or 3 points are my weaknesses, this will definitely hinder our pathway to know ourselves. We cannot know ourselves better if we are just evaluating our strengths and weaknesses. Rather, we should concentrate upon our personal characteristics, whatever these are. And if, as I just said, that sometimes strength is not strength and weakness is not weakness. So here the most important thing is that we should know what are our personal characteristic. Are we suitable for some sort of study, for some sort of job, for some sort of business, for some sort of profession? Do we think, if we want to become engineer, do we think like an engineer? Do we have some attitude of engineer? If we are going to become pharmacist, is it obligatory from the society or from the parents, or it has been pushed upon us that we have to become pharmacist or a doctor or a marketeer? Are we having characteristics to be a pharmacist? Are we having a characteristic to be an engineer, a lawyer, a marketeer? So if someone does not recognize our own personal characteristics, one cannot take a good decision. If our decisions are imposed by others, if our decisions are influenced by circumstances, are influenced by personalities, rather than looking upon our own self, these decisions cannot result into good decisions, and it may become a result as a frustration in the future. So, if you are pharmacist and you have become pharmacist and you are becoming pharmacist, then one should know, if you have opted this career, this qualification pattern, then you should know how this qualification of yours, your study and your experience, you are going to imply in for the next profession. Whether you are going towards sales, whether you are going towards marketing, whether community pharmacist, clinical pharmacist in a hospital, or you are going to join
Industry.
a production industry. So everything is based upon your personal characteristics. And okay, one thing is, uh, when we are just studying and have going to have degrees, the most of time the people are thinking that after this job we will after completing our education, we will start some job, or we will start some business, and we have to start our career. Today, as we are going to discuss about jobs in sales and marketing of pharmaceuticals, so first of all, we should, if we know ourselves, we recognize our abilities, we recognize our attitude, then we should know, do we need a job or career? Is we are in need for a job or career, and what sort of career? Why are we choosing the particular field? If you're a pharmacist, why are you opting for sales and marketing? If, as this today's presentation is about pharmaceutical sales and marketing, why I'm choosing this sales and pharmaceutical marketing? And what is important for me, whether I want money, whether I want to become a big boss, a head of some organization, or a big marketeer, a big sale personnel, a president of some industry, whether I want fame like a celebrity, or I want to do it for my family, or it looks simple and easy to me to do job in sales and marketing. So what is our perspective behind? And really, we are job type, we can have that tolerance to be the part of some organization. Can we follow others? Can we follow the routines of jobs of 9 to 5 or any other timings of the job? Is I am the person of who is job type, and why I am doing job? Why I'm doing job? What is purpose behind? It is just like many others, studying, completing education and striving for some job and getting some position there and just working like a machine. And what is my personal inspirations? What is the reason behind why I have been inspired to do the job? Because here one thing I want to talk about regarding inspirations, regarding motivation, regarding our influences. I have interacted with so many motivational speakers, local and foreign. And what I noted in most of them, not all, but many of them, they're always pushing personals that you can do anything. You can do anything. You can become Bill Gates. You can become Zuckerberg. You can become KFC man, or Mahesh Ambani, and the wealthy people. They are just giving examples of. But I am having a different idea about these examples. Uh, for example, 6 billion people of this world have already been died, and 6 billion are existing at the moment. And for these 12 billion population, we are giving examples of few hundred people. How those few hundred people can be an example for us? Out of these 12 billion people, those few hundred people who got some chances in the life due to a different reason, might be they're lucky to make Facebook and to be a Bill Gates and Mahesh Ambani and so many rich people. Actually, are those people our inspiration? Whether our own parents, right? They are not our inspirations who just gave birth to us, who nourished us, even during the hardest times, during the hardest financial times. They just worked hard for us. Are they not our inspiration? And the biggest inspiration, that is not Bill Gates, that is not Zuckerberg or anyone else in our life. The biggest inspiration should be our own personal characteristics, what we have inside, what we have inside. It's not always necessary that we follow others, and we can become very wealthy, we can become a very big marketeer, we can become a very big billionaire. So inspiration should come from inside, and true inspiration is not following the lies. True inspiration is accepting the truth. What is our attitude and what is our behavior? How we feel comfortable. Whether we need a so called job or business with so much wealth, or we need wealth with a contented heart, a happy heart, a sort of profession that we will enjoy with. And now, coming towards pharmaceutical industry, I was just moving through different websites, and I have found this data from two or three different websites. as much as pharmaceutical industry is concerned, as today's topic is relating to our career in sales and marketing in pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry, if not the biggest one, but one of the big industries, one of the biggest industry in the world. Total value of pharmaceutical, according to the figures of 2019, is 1.25 trillion US dollars. 1.25 trillion US dollar, the huge industry, and the growth of this industry is 5.8%. uh, this growth varies. Sometimes it crosses double figure, sometimes it comes down. And as much as employment is concerned, pharmaceutical industry worldwide is the one industry that is carrying uh, a huge number of employees. More than 7 million employees are worldwide working in pharmaceutical industry. Such a huge industry, and it is highest in employment sector in developing countries, especially countries. I don't know the figure of Nigerian, how much pharmaceuticals is in Nigeria, but in countries like Pakistan, in countries like Nigeria, in countries like India, and in other developing countries, uh, this pharmaceutical industry is giving highest employment rate, because in small cities, in big cities, everywhere, they are deploying their sale personals, their marketing personals. So one of the highest employment given industry this is. And this industry has a diversified job pattern. One can be part of sales, one can be part of marketing, one can be part of distribution network, and one can also go towards formulation of drugs and production industry. So pharmaceutical industry is very important, and especially relating to pharmacists, because they are expert in drugs, they are expert in pharmaceutical products. It's a huge industry. And um, today we will just stick towards sales and marketing, but as much as jobs are concerned in for the pharmacists in pharmacist industry, if some pharmacist goes and joins production, then they can do formulation, they can work in quality control, they can work in quality assurance and research and development. But today's our topic is sales and marketing. In sales, one can be part of sales, one can be part of marketing, and one can be part of distribution setup of pharmaceutical drug. And we will just go through with sales and marketing. Okay, while we are talking about sales and marketing, uh, number of times, even during my early days of my professional career, when I started my career from GSK, Pakistan, I didn't know the difference between sales and marketing. And there were a lot of terminologies in different books that I couldn't understand because they were intermingling with each other. And there was no clear cut explanation and clarification regarding sales and marketing. And uh, I was curious how we can differentiate. But when I got a chance to work as a product manager in pharmaceutical industry, and I just converted from sales to marketing, then I started getting an idea regarding sales and marketing. And no, Seed is also here.
Yes. I just want. Okay. I just want to share that this slide is very important. This slide is very important as most of you are working as community pharmacists, and we can apply as a pharmacist. We can apply these techniques, these traits in our community as well. We can actually increase our sales by planning for the sales of the community pharmacy as well. This doesn't rely on the not only the sales and marketing in pharmaceutical industry, but this also implies in retail sector, in community pharmacy, in hospital, like how you can push the drugs, how you can by implying your competence, The first and foremost thing is your competence. So the coming slides, two to three slides are very important for all of you. So I think you should ask a question from these slides as well. So please, Kashyap.
Thank you very much, Haseeb. As Haseeb told, that sales marketing terminologies apply upon any type of sales, even if it is community services or retail side. So if we just go through towards the difference of sales and marketing, uh, these are few things, these are few traits, these are few points here differentiating this difference of sales and marketing. Sales is actually an exchange of goods or services with money. An exchange of goods or services with money. Sales is short term, one to one, is matching the demands as per strategy given implementation of sales objectives and shorter perspective. Shorter perspective. Uh, But as much as marketing is concerned, marketing is the systematic planning, implementation, and control of business activities to bring together buyers and sellers. Actually, marketing side is responsible for planning, for strategy making, for mapping how to give and prevail and a specific idea for a brand or for a product, and how through this product we can generate a value. Then sales, by using all those tactics given by the marketing and all those planning, sales are doing the work upon it to exchange those goods in this after getting money or with money. And uh, marketing is long term. Marketing is long term because a marketeer has to make a whole year plan, a quarter plan, a plan for 3 years, and they are just deciding how a brand will move around, how a brand will nourish in quarter, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, and what are the targets, and how these targets are divided on nationwide or global wide if someone is working globally. But salesperson is doing short term because salesperson, they have been given targets by marketing, and they are just taking care of small areas, small regions or cities for their sales, and they have to do their sales for that short term quarter plan or month plan, and they have to concentrate upon their particular target. And marketing work for masses because marketing has to uh, decide that number of sales personals, number of marketing personals and production, and everyone is working over there. They coordinate with everyone, and they make plans and development as according to those masses. How different regions are diversifying, and how different regions are behaving. So they make plan, a diversified plan for masses. But a sale personnel works one to one, or a small team work with few personals. And marketing is a set of complex activities because they have to uh, make lot of complex planning. They have to uh, establish targets. They have to set targets. They have to uh, build brand ideas and pitch, and they have to make literatures and message methodology. So marketing is a complex activity, and sales is based upon those complex guidance that are being given by marketeer. And it is a responsibility for marketing personnel to set right objective for the organization. If a marketing personnel cannot study the competition and cannot study the whole market around, he cannot give a right strategy to a sale personnel. So it is responsibility of a marketing person to set a right target and right objective for sale personnel. And this is a term being used, an adage, that failure of sales is not failure of sales, that is actually failure of marketing. If marketing has not made a good planning for sale personals, no sale personals can have that much success that is needed. And this is responsibility of sales personnel to work as according to the objective given. So there's a bigger perspective for marketing, because a marketer deals with millions and billions of rupees and targets, and the whole target of the company. But a sales personnel has to take care a target of a region or a city or a small area. So there is a difference between sales and marketing. And what are the traits required but for sales? As I just in the beginning, I just said that one should recognize one's own self. If one is not recognizing one's own self, if we do not know what personal characteristics we do have, what is our attitude, what is our patience level, what is our competence level, how we perceive things, what is our communication or interaction level with others, how social we are, how social we are not. So if we do not know about our own personal characteristics, our own pattern of thinking, and our own pattern of studying, so if we do not know, we cannot opt our careers. And these are some traits that are required for sales personnel. If someone is willing to opt for sales, that he must be target oriented. Sales personals, if they have been given targets, they have been given some targets to achieve, them tasks and some objectives to achieve, they must be target oriented. They should have a patience, and they should have an ability to accept those challenges and targets. They should not have denial for that. They must uh, have a thinking to hover around the targets, and they must plan how to achieve that target according to the planning and strategy given. A sales personnel should have good communication skill. If someone is doing some creative work and sitting inside an office, he might not need that communication skill if he is just doing some creative work at the paper. But if you are a salesperson and you have to sell something, you have to exchange something for the money, and you have to describe characteristics of your products, you have to describe characteristics of your company, your business, your services, then one should have good communication skills. One should know how to interact, how to talk. And good communication skills does not mean that one can talk uninterruptedly, one can talk in a very speedy manner, or one can have so many words to talk. No, the best way of communication is controlled communication. The best way of communication is controlled communication. One should know how to listen and how to talk, where to stop and where to start. So communication skill is one of the pattern. Then diversified behavior handling, because when salesperson goes into the market and interact with some doctor, or with some customer, he has to meet with persons with different behaviors. Few personas are very harsh, few are very smiling face personas, few are tough going, and few are easy going personas. So a salesperson should be ready to handle diversified behaviors, and he has to stretch with working hours. A sales personnel need to stretch his working hours, because if someone is sitting in office or some doing some job in industry, he might be doing a job for 8 hours or 10 hours or 6 hours. But a salesman, if has gone for the sale, sometimes he has to wait for the customer for the meeting. Sometimes he has to stretch himself for a particular objective that has to be done on immediate basis. So, salesperson should have an ability to stretch his working hours. He should have an ability to handle work stress. The biggest, I think, the toughest thing for a person is to sell something. To sell something. Sometimes you have to sell new things, new brands, new ideas, and it becomes difficult, because it's very natural that most of the people and most of the customers do not accept our first calls or second calls. We have to take time for this. And during these circumstances, a sales personnel should know how to handle that work stress. Even if he is worried for some personal reason, he has some bad interaction at home with wife or with children or with parents or with brother or with any friend, he has not to carry that stress along with while he's doing for sales. If he is sad at some times, he should have a good smile on his face. And being a sales personnel, it's not enough to speak so many words. It is also necessary to have basic product knowledge of a product, of a product, knowledge of a product. And as much as pharmaceutical industry is concerned, pharmacists are the rightest persons who are fit for this product knowledge, because they are the persons who have produced drugs, who know the formulation, who know the nature of the drug, who know their reactions, who know their chemical structure, who know how one drugs behave. They know about drug interactions, they know about drug benefits. So if one is going to promote a drug or a product, he must have basic product knowledge. Because if someone asks about some new antibiotic or antiviral or anti-cancerous products or any anti-hypertensive, anti-diabetology products, and someone asks what is its mode of action, and if some salesperson who is dealing with technical products of pharmaceutical, he says, uh, I don't know about the mode of action, but I know this is very good product for your patient. No doctor will be convinced with it. So basic product knowledge is very much necessary. Then a sales personnel should have calculation skills. He should know basic of math, and not big math, but plus minuses and multiplication and divisions, because sales personnel is being given targets and he has to divide his targets on day-to-day basis, on weekly basis, on monthly basis, on tri-monthly basis, and he has to have these skills of calculation as well. A sales personnel should have follow-up skills, because when we are going to introduce a new or old brand to some customer, uh, and very first time we are going to that customer, then we should know that it might not be possible that during our first call or during our first sale call we can convince that customer to use our product or to prescribe our product. So even if he accepts and starts prescribing, follow up is very much necessary on specified times. If someone is going to meet some doctor on Wednesday at 2 p.m., he should schedule himself that the next time after 1 or 2 week or in the next month, in the same date, I have to follow that customer for the product. So follow-up skills are very much necessary. Sometimes few deals are on the way and they are not closed, incomplete deals. For those deals, you have to have follow-up through one-to-one interaction, through calls, through messages, or anything that customer accepts. Then a salesperson should have implementation ability. If marketing or head office or company gives target or some strategy, a branding strategy to a salesperson, he should not say that I am jack of all trades and I'm such a wise man who can do anything at him. No, he should implement that particular strategy that has been given to him. He should have this ability that he should implement those strategy, that brand slogan, that brand message, and how he has been guided. And sale personnel must be a good team player, because every individual sale personnel is part of a team, and individual efforts, when they are combined, then it becomes a way to achieve a bigger objective. So if there's a manager working over here and he is having six sale personals along with, and out of these six, one or two does not participate well and does not do their work, they cannot achieve target of that particular region. So sale personnel should be a team player. He should know how to interact with internal customers as well external customers. And sale personnel should have one of the most important characteristic is an ability to close his objectives, to close his sales. He should know what should be the result. He should not just convey the message of product, but he should know how that product would be prescribed by a doctor or would be uh, bought by uh, customer. So he should close the deal. Without selling a salesperson work cannot be closed. And if we talks about traits required by marketing, uh, marketing, as we already said, that it is a matter of planning and making big objectives and bigger perspective and work for masses. So definitely a marketeer should also have communication and presentation skills, because he have to sketch and map an idea of a branding and to make presentation, and he has to convey that idea to the sales personnel, to the company, to the customers as well. So he should have communication and presentation skills, good communication and presentation skill. If he sketches a very good idea and he cannot communicate or present, then he cannot be a good marketeer. He cannot be a good brand manager. He could be a good director marketing or brand marketeer. And he should have strong writing skills, because he has to prepare slogans, he has to prepare messages, and so he should have strong writing skills that can influence stakeholders, whether internal or external. Analytical skills to analyze the whole market and the business, so that according to that business and analysis he can make a bigger plan. Definitely, if he has a good analytical skill, that planning skill should be there. If he has analyzed many things, he should know how to what he has to plan, what should be his objective as in compared to the market, strategy building. And if we want to achieve some objectives, what strategy they have to follow, what type of slogans, what type of benefits, what type of traits of the products, what type of the traits of the company and the personals they have to put in, what is the methodology to move ahead with it. Then a marketer should know budgeting. If he is going to launch some product, he is going to brand some product, and more often marketeers are dealing with millions and billions of rupees of a company. So they should know the right implementation of that budget, where that budget should be spent upon the product development, upon the sale personas in the market, in the gifting, in the advertisement, and in educational activities, in hospitals, anywhere. So he should be a good budget master as well. He should know documentation. Whatever he is doing, he has to make its documentation for the reference. He should have aesthetic sense. Without having a strong aesthetic sense, you cannot build a strong message of the product. You cannot build a strong visual of the product. You cannot present yourself very well. He should. I already said he should have a coordination ability. He has to coordinate with the production industry, the personals at the head office, finance personals and sale personals, and even sometimes customers. So he should know how to coordinate everyone uh, to compile his own objectives. He should have detailed product knowledge. A salesperson may have a basic product knowledge, but a marketer should have detailed product knowledge, because sometimes there are customer queries. If some customer query cannot be handled by a salesperson, then the marketer should give him help or guidance for the detailed product knowledge for some complex questions. He should have research attitude. He should have an attitude of implementation and control. And if someone has made a plan, a whole objective for a company, for a brand, and he cannot make it implemented, and he cannot control it on day-to-day basis, on monthly basis, on quarterly basis, then that plan is again becomes a failure. And a marketer should have good training skills as well, because if he conceives some idea, if he is going to brand some product, he should know how to train sale personas upon sales strategy, upon sales pitch, upon sale handling, customer handling, product knowledge. So training skills are very much necessary. Then tactical review is very much necessary and essential for a plan. If some marketer or brand manager or marketing manager has made a plan for a whole year and he has made a budget of millions, he should review that plan at least on quarterly basis. If one has made a plan of a whole year of 12 months, he should review the 3 months passed, whether this plan has worked well, whether it is going towards the way or towards the objective that has been planned. If it is not going as per plan, if there are deviations, then after this tactical review, that marketeer can bring some changes, then bring some improvements in that plan. Then one very important thing is a marketeer should have risk, should know how to analyze the risk and how to do risk aversions. But if we are going to launch some product in the market, we should know how the market behaves in particular months, in particular seasons like spring, winter, warm seasons. And if he is going to launch a product, if I say some product is relating to, in our Pakistan, pharyngitis cases, they mostly come in winters. And if some product manager or marketer is going to launch a product not in winter, in a warm season, then he should know this might not be a good start for him. Because here in Pakistani market, I don't know about Nigeria market, but Pakistani market, in winter there's a season of pharyngitis. So a person should know how to analyze risk and how to avoid those risks. How to avoid those risks. So it was a quick overview of traits regarding sales and marketing. And and what is career pathway in sales? Generally, it might be a few changes in this career pathway in different pharmaceutical industries or in different countries. But what is career pathway starting from a sales representative? More often, as much as sales career is concerned in pharmaceutical industry, one has to start as a sales representative, a sales officer, a sales executive. So these are more different terminologies. Then, when one becomes successful being a sales representative and achieves his targets and moves ahead very well, he can become senior sales representative. From senior sales representative, based upon performance and achievements, one can become assistant area sales manager. When someone becomes assistant area sales manager, he has to take care of a team of 4 to 12 or 4 to 8 or 4 to 6. In pharmaceutical industry, ideal team of a manager is comprised at least for 4 personals and maximum 8 to 10 personals. So now at this point, that representative turns to be a manager of a team who has to lead a team. Then, if an assistant area sales manager performs well, he becomes area manager. An area manager, as an area manager, responsibility stays same, but emoluments and financial impacts that improves. Then, if among successful area sales managers, if one performs well in competition with other area managers, one become regional sales manager. Regional sales manager has to take care of number of cities and different regions. And under regional sales managers, there are 4 to 6 managers. They are reporting to him. Then from regional sales manager, one becomes zonal sales manager. Zonal sales manager like manager of a province, manager of a state, manager of a bigger region, or uh, 8 to 10 cities. Then from zonal sales managers, the highest position in sales is a national sales manager. National sales manager, I'm talking about a country. National sales manager in a country is a person who is taking care of all the team of sales, zonal managers, regional managers, area managers, representatives, and this is the sale head actually. It's sometimes called, sometimes it may also be called country head sales, national sales manager, sales head. So this is the career pathway of sales, starting from sales representative towards national sales manager. And career pathway of marketing. If someone is working as a sales representative, as my career started from GSK, and then I joined Roche Pharmaceutical and Roche Diagnostic for the sales. One can also switch if someone has an ability uh, to uh, to be a marketeer, when someone has traits of planning, communication, and so many things, one can switch towards marketing as well. So few sales personas also switch over here, and sometimes fresh pharmacists, fresh marketing graduates, they become management trainee officer in a company. They apply for the marketing position, and companies hire them as management trainee officer, who has to learn and then start ahead with it. And after successfully completing this tenure, and most of the time this tenure is not that long, because management training officers are uh, hardly they spend 6 months to move ahead. After if someone performs very good, and after 6 months, one can become assistant product manager or assistant brand manager. Assistant brand manager that works for products, for different products. He has been given one or two or three or four products to work upon, to make strategies, and to make advertising pattern and marketing and selling objectives. Then from assistant product manager, when one become very uh, successful in being assistant product manager, that is being promoted as product manager, who has been given some specific products, bigger products, good financial impacts, as well as decision abilities for product manager. Then a successful product manager becomes senior or group product manager. A group product manager take cares two or three or four or six product managers and working under him. And then from group product manager, one can become business manager. Business manager take care a whole group that is working in specific therapeutic group, and there are group product managers and product managers and other team under him. And after business unit manager, one become marketing manager. Marketing manager that take care uh, more than one or two or three groups and different therapeutic categories. And after marketing manager, if one becomes successful, one can become head of sales and marketing for the whole firm, for all the groups working in the firm. So this is the highest career pathway and career reach for a marketeer, being head of sales and marketing. Now, as we have gone through this quick session, most of the time I conduct my sessions in an interactive manner, and I ask questions from the attendees, and attendees ask questions from me, and sometimes I learn from the attendees, uh, and they learn from me. Right now, I'm just going through very rapidly through this presentation. But the next part, after talking about self-recognition and our trades and required trades of sales, trades of marketing, and career pathways. Okay, this is the career of sales and marketing. This is if one wants to join and having some characteristics relating to sales and relating to marketing. But uh, during last many years, I have seen so many things, especially in our young ones. Uh, they they have to have some abilities to prepare their resumes, to prepare for interviews, to search for jobs. And resumes are savage. I've noted many flaws in resumes, many things that are extra, or many things missing. So, if someone is going to become part of sales and marketing, or going to apply for a job, even other than sales and marketing, how he has to prepare himself. So now this session goes to Dr. Hasib, uh, because wherever we have conducted the sessions, we divide these sessions, and Dr. Hasib will go through all these processes of preparing your resume and interviews and time management and so on. So the next session, I'm just handing over to Dr. Hasib. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
hope you had a wonderful session with Mr. Kashif Raza. So, resume is the first document whenever you apply for a job that comes across to the employer, and it is the first document which actually represents yourself. You are not there, but the document is there, so you have to make an impression. Without that impression, because if you are you have a very good personality but you don't have a good resume, you won't be called upon for an interview. So what are the characteristics? What are the characteristics of a resume? What are the parts of the resume that should be? Uh, as just Kashyap told you guys that he has observed some missing things and some exaggerated claims. We have come across the resume. As I used to take initial interviews in Eli Lilly, Pakistan, and in GSK Pakistan. First, we used to downsize candidates, or we used to go through a candidate. So that is only the resume, which actually represents yourself. So it is a very important document. So first thing, it should be what should a resume look like? The first and the foremost thing is that it should be a skill based and professional style. Okay, so you are a very good human person, human being, but an employer doesn't need you until and unless you're skilled for that particular job. So the first thing is skill based. For example, you are applying as a pharmacist, as a clinical pharmacist, as a drug expert to some hospital, to the pharmaceutical industry, to the retail or community setup, and you don't know anything about drug. You haven't completed your degree. You won't be kept on that job. Only the skill based, because when you mention that you have this particular skill regarding a drug, regarding a drug information, you know the drug interaction, you know what a particular drug is, has a characteristic, or pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics. So this is a skill base. So and it should be a professional style. What is that professional style? You should mention your name, address, phone, and email, so that if why address is necessary, because it always provides an ease to the employer, so that he can hire you. Because if you live far away, there most likely you will leave that job early, right? Phone and email is necessary, because they may contact you after they have selected you, or they might re-interview, or there are certain phases of interview, like first interview, second interview, and then there are final interviews. So they can call you, they can contact you over the email or over the phone. Do not mention age, father name, family members, CNAC, or you can say your identity document, or any other personal information over the resume. Usually these things are being asked during your interview. Just remember that. Because if you put everything on the resume, then you don't have to tell anything. So you have to speak in order to show that you can communicate. So mostly these things, like your age, or sometimes what actually happens for a sales job, if we consider, we we used to consider young people who have good footwork. If you mention that I'm 35 years old, they will never call you. Let them call you, let them see you, speak to you, then let them decide. So never mention these things. So usually the family members are being asked in an interview. So what your siblings, how many siblings do you have, what they do, what your father does. So all these things, let it be in the interview if they are interested only. And write a comprehensive object by your own self. So what is an object or objective? The first thing after the name, address and phone, you place objective, why you want to have this job. So there are two things. The one, that you are just switching a job. You are doing this, like you're already in this company for job A, and you are just switching, just tit for tat, just switching to company B. So job versus job, it should never be there. You should switch from company A to company B for the career move, for improving your career. So what actually the objective tells the employer, that you want to change your career, you want to contribute to your career and to the development of the organization. So objective is the first thing that is that shows or that leaves some impression on the employer. Then obviously when we say that it should be skill based, so you should mention your education. As just I told you, you're applying for a pharmacist. So you should mention your education, that you have done a bachelor's in pharmacy, you have done a doctor of pharmacy, or an MPhil, or a PhD, whatever you have done in that particular field. Your personal skills, like dispensing, is your personal skill. Drug information is your personal skill. You have a very you can say a good communication. You can be a good listener. This is your personal skill. You can operate computers. You can handle the tricky situations. So these are your personal skills related to technology, related to your particular field, related to your own self. Then there are internships. Internships actually show your intent for working. For example, okay, can you just tell me that how many years of pharmacy education in Nigeria? Because in Pakistan we have 5 years, doctor of pharmacy. Can you just tell me that how many years do you study for to be a pharmacist?
In Nigeria, yeah, is 6 years. Doctor
6
of
years.
pharmacy is 6 years. But
Okay.
if it is the B farm is 5 years.
Okay. Okay. So that is very good that you are having a 6 year education, but we have doctor of pharmacy in Pakistan for 5 years. But B Farm, it used to be for 4 years. Uh, so that is actually if someone is becoming a pharmacist. So there are certain countries where internships are very much necessary. These are the part of their curriculum. For example, Canada. In Canada, you study for 3 or 4 months, and then you have to go for a co-op. Co-op is their the applicability. For example, they study hospital pharmacy, and they have to go for an internship for the hospital pharmacy in the next semester. Without that, they don't compete. But in many countries, in developing countries like in Pakistan, uh, internships are not a mandatory part of education. Students do them by themselves. So what is in Nigeria? Is it a mandatory part, or just intent or the willingness of the student?
Internship here is very, very compulsory. You must do it.
Okay, that's good. So internships are compulsory. It actually shows that the level of Nigerian pharmacists. So internships also should be mentioned in your resume, because it shows the intent of a student that he wants to work in particular area. Then research work actually involves many plateaus, many platforms, like from cognitive behavior, from thinking to the drafting, then conduction, then the patients. So all these things should be mentioned. If you mention your internship, for example, and your research work in your resume, and there is another student, there is another pharmacist who's applying for the same job, and he has lesser internships, he has no research work, so obviously the employer will prefer a person who is having an internship and a research work, because obviously the employer will think that this person has undergone the cognitive development during its studies. So he has developed this title, he has conducted this, and during the conduction there are many problems which came across, and he overcame those problems. So all these things should be mentioned. So in nutshell, whatever you do professionally, it should be mentioned in your CV, whether it is a very big task or a very minor task. So then there are co-curricular or extracurricular achievements like sports, like literary competitions. If you have been an editor of a magazine in your college, through your college, it should be mentioned. Again, why? Because obviously, when you're applying for a job, for example, sales and marketing, you have seen the traits of sales personnel and the traits of a marketing personnel. So it should be research based. Obviously, when you are editing a magazine, you do extra research, you do writing, you have to collaborate to many people. You have to collaborate to your peers, you have to collaborate to the publisher, you have to collaborate to the professors, you have to collaborate to the photographers. Everything should be in order, in a particular order to get it published. So you come across to many ups and downs during that publication. Or curricular activities, same goes with the sports. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So your mental strength is according to that. So if you play sports, you have some extracurricular achievement, you should always mention, because employer always see that this job has ups and this job has downs. So person should remain composed. If the person who is applying for that particular job has already been through those ups and downs, and he can remain composed, he is a champion. For example, for 5 or 6 years he has been the captain of the cricket team, a captain of the football, or your national games, whatever these are. So it means he has been through many ups and downs, and he can be composed. So don't the next step is don't exaggerate, because when it is your first year of interview, but the person on the other side of the table, he has been taking interviews for 35 years, he has been taking interviews for 15 years, he has been taking it for 20 years. He will catch you in a minute. So he will never say that you are exaggerating. Simply what he will do, he will push your resume to the basket, to the bin. So don't exaggerate. If you know something, just mention. If you don't know, so in the early phase, don't mention any reference personnel, right? If only asked, give references only if only asked. Many companies, specifically multinational companies, when they hire sales or marketing personnel, they require references on their prescribed forms, not on resume. So only provide these references when these are asked. Okay. Then there is another very important thing, that is a cover letter. So cover letter actually describes what you are applying for. So write a general cover letter to send to employers. At position applied, you have to make changes. Just remember that. So you should have a general cover letter for multiple employers, and for the subject line you have to change those subjects, like you have applied for the sales senior sales manager, or the sales manager, or the area manager, assistant area manager, whatever the position is, you have to mention that position. Always remember to change that. Start with a reference, start with this sentence: reference to the job announcement or job announced, platform, like where it was announced, and the date, dated 24th July 2020, on the Facebook page or the company website, that is the platform, or in the newspaper. So you have to give the reference. So it shows that you are well versed. So highlight your interest in the job. Never take the things casually. Never say that, okay, I was just scrolling down a website and I came across this job and I want to have a dog. No, no one will give you this job. Why you want to? First, ask yourself. The first slide, or first the sentence of this presentation was, "Do you know yourself?" So when you are applying for a job and you're mentioning your interest in that job, ask yourself why. Why you want to apply for that job, right? If you can justify yourself, you can justify other person as well. If you cannot justify yourself, you cannot justify your application to the other person as well. So no one will hire you. But first, justify yourself. So if you are really interested in that job, how would you know that you are interested in that job or not? Or it is the job of your interest or no? How can we assume? How can we know that, rather? No assumptions, rather, how can we show and how can we know that it is it the job of my interest or not? Because sometimes it happens that we go into a field, then after 1 year or 6 months, we realize that it's not our job of our interest, so we should switch to some other career. So how can we know that it is the job of our interest? There are two things. One is the internship. During internships, you have come across many environments like sales, marketing, retail, community, hospital. You have done internships in quality assurance, production. So you might be knowing after doing all these internships that that you have interest in particular side. Number one. Number two, the best thing to know that if you have interest in that job is simply that you never get tired of doing that particular job or particular. For example, if someone is very much interested in community pharmacy, you keep him there, he will never be tired of that. He will be very interested in that job. So first thing, you highlight your interest in your application, that your heart is speaking out of it. You are the perfect person. You are the fittest person for this job. So how you can say? By showing your interest. So interest is why. Okay, then concisely summarize your major qualification and skills. And this should not be a very long story. This would be very concise, that you require in the advertisement, this qualification and this skill set was required, so I'm the perfect person. Or I have this qualification as per your advertisement, and I have this skill set as per your qualification. As per your advertised uh, advertisement. So inform that your resume is attached along with your cover letter so that the employer will read it out. Okay, job hunt. How can you hunt a job? A new listing, for example, newspapers, job websites, Facebook pages and groups like Pharma Jobs, search through Google, meet people from the industry, and priority should be given to top 25 to 30 companies. So I would very much like to elaborate this concept, meet people from the industry. So, can I ask any one of you that how many of you have met any professional pharmacist during your studies? Did you meet?
Anybody can answer so that we can just unmute that person.
Yes, anybody can answer that. Did anybody meet any professional pharmacist regarding that I want to have this career, so guide me during your studies? None. Okay. Not forgetting. Okay. So none. So this is called informational interview. For example, I just give you an example. This is a new concept called informational interview. For example, I introduce you that I am an assistant professor and I am doing a PhD, or I am a PhD. So you are in fourth year or the final year of pharmacy. You have in mind that you want to become a professor after completing this. You came across me. You just asked me, sir, can I have 15 minutes of your time? Okay, sure. So I want to ask some questions. What are those questions? The first question is that I want to become a professor. I want to come in academia. How can I come? This is the first question. As a student, you don't know, but as a professional, I know that. So you ask me, and I answer. Then you have another question. So when 15 minutes are over, you say, thank you very much, sir. Now I have know what is my pathway. So same goes for the pharmaceutical marketing and sales. If someone wants to aspire his or her career in sales and marketing, for example, he came across, there are many things like job listings. There are many forums in Facebook that have personnel, the top tier personnel. For example, someone is working as a national sales manager, and you go for him on internet. You go to the office and ask him, I want to have an interview, and this is called information interview. So the next is interview preparation. So we have divided this in 3 steps: before the interview and after the interview. So before the interview, you should know the job description, what actually the job has been advertised for. The company profile you can have from the website, major products of the company. For example, you're applying to the Novartis, and you should know what are the major products of the Novartis, like Caflam, like Tegretol. So go through each word of your resume. This is important. If they ask your document that you have this skill, okay, have I written this? You're gone. You're nowhere. So you should know your resume. So basic knowledge of medicine and mechanism. Then you should dress formally, and then during interview, be confident with sober smile, listen properly, answer to the point, audible voice should be there. You should remain positive. Don't be confused. Don't tell self-made stories. All these things should be there during the interview. And then after the interview, send an email of acknowledgement interview and mentioning few main points of discussion, that it was a very good interview. I had a very good discussion. I came across very good people. So make follow-up phone call that's for described time schedule of selection. That is like after 2 days of interview, send them feedback regarding any task given. For example, in an interview, the task was given, you have to make an assignment on antidepressants and submit to the manager. So if you have completed that task, just send them back, right? So job attitude should be there, like transition from the routine life. Don't listen negative. Once you are hired, like you go to the job, some senior person says, why you came to this office? This is not work. Okay. You should move on. Right? We have many people, many seniors. So the first 5 years, you should be open to learning, feel honored, be happy, and most of all, be patient, because progress needs time. So this is the last slide. Chief investment for the success is time. Time management. So thank you very much for your time, and the house is open for the questions.
Yeah, we just want to appreciate you, Dr. Muhammad Hasib, and your friend, the biochemist, Mr. Kasif Razak. We are very, very grateful. We really appreciate this. Your wonderful presentation is tailored most of the time to community pharmacy mostly. So we really do appreciate. Because of time, we won't waste time. We just want to take up, questions and answers immediately. And also comments can also come in. All participants have also been muted, so you can just talk. Anyone that has questions, comments?
Questions.
Dr. Asif, stop the slides. Dr. Asif, can you stop your slide sharing?
Okay.
Yeah, let him stop the let him stop the slide sharing so people can.
Okay. Dr. Hazib, please can you stop sharing your slide so that we can see participants that wants to ask questions.
Okay.
Can stop sharing your slide. We are reading the comments. So many people are sending comments. Thank you for the very informative presentation. So we welcome comments, we welcome questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kunshola. I'd just like to say a big thank you to Dr. Muhammad Asif.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
And I think I want to believe the materials will be a very good information for everyone. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your acknowledgement.
Concerning the material, we hope to get from you because I'm going to be sharing it in all the platforms. It's a wonderful presentation. We'd like to have the material for this your slides. We would like to have it. So we're going to share it all CPAN platforms.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We will provide you that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
So Dr. Bello.
So what's next? Is the chairman around to give us the
Yes,
photo
he's
plan?
around. Yes, he did. He posted. He sent
Let's call
his
him
message.
to come. Let's call him to
Yeah.
address them to give the photo
Dr.
plan.
Madu.
Yeah, I think
I saw his comments.
So it'd be better if you can speak out to them.
CPAN,
Chairman.
CPAN Diaspora Chairman.
Okay, yeah.
She's here too. I don't know if she would like to say something. Dr. Annette.
Hello, yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, lovely. We'd like to hear you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Hasib, and your partner. I appreciate it. It was a very well put together presentation. I'm sure everybody found it very interesting. So thank you.
Thank you very much too. I'd like to hear more from you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So time
Can
is
I add
fast
one more thing?
Okay, lovely. We'd like to hear you.
So again, I know during his presentation, he had asked if anybody had had an opportunity to talk to a pharmacist during their education or stuff like that. I'd like to say that I'm so proud of CPAN and all the members. They're all very qualified in any way that any aspect or level of practice of pharmacy that you're looking at or wanting to move to. So I'd like to say that that's a good platform for you to find somebody to talk to if you're looking for a field or area of specialty. I know that there's plenty of people there, but you can also reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm also here available, ready to help and support in any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Madu, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you get screen? Can you hear
we are
me?
not seeing you. Yes, we can hear you, but we are not seeing you. There's no problem. We can.
All right. Thank you very much.
I can hear you.
I want to thank Dr. Bello for making it a success. When I called him about the Zoom, and he agreed as usual, and he helped us make it a success. I also want to thank Dr. Timi and all the participants. The CPAN guy from Pakistan and his colleague, the biochemist. Yesterday they told me that by this time it will be around 12 midnight in their
in Pakistan. Wow.
Pakistan, but then they just had to sacrifice for CPAN. I want to appreciate them too. It's not easy. All these institutes encourage us so much, so that we know that we are all doing something for our profession. I will just say summarily, while appreciating Dr. who has contributed a lot towards the CPAN diaspora, and every other person that let us keep on. By God's grace, it won't take too long before we start reaping the fruits of our labor. God bless you all.
God bless you. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate. We are honored to be in CPAN. We still want to. Dr. Annette, are you still there? Please, can you pass the message across? Yes, pass the message across to your representatives tonight. That when questions come up after today, we hope. I know is on platform 3, so we know that you can still answer our questions from this presentation. I know he's going to share the slide with us, and we are going to share it around. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. time is fast spent. So we say good night, Dr. Velo Ibrahim. Please can you help us put an end to this meeting? Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Sleep tight.
Thank you.
Love
Good
and
night.
good night.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.